You don't need to be loud, mean, or aggressive to set boundaries. You can be soft and still be firm. Welcome back to day 9. I'm Dr. Nicole, and today we're talking about something that confuses so many women: how to set boundaries without becoming hard. So many women think boundaries are harsh. They think you have to be cold, aggressive, or mean to get people to respect your limits. And because they don't want to be that way, they end up having no boundaries at all. Today, we're going to fix that because there's a completely different way to set boundaries, one that's aligned with your feminine energy and is actually more effective. Let's start with harsh boundaries because I want you to understand where they come from. Harsh boundaries usually come from fear. Fear that you won't be heard, fear that you'll be taken advantage of, fear that you'll lose the relationship if you're not forceful enough. When we're operating from fear, we overcompensate. We get loud because we're afraid of being ignored. We get aggressive because we're afraid of being dismissed. We get mean because we're afraid of being walked over. Harsh boundaries sound like, you better not call me after 9 p.m. Don't ever speak to me that way again. I'm telling you right now, this stops today. Now, here's the thing: harsh boundaries might work in the moment. People might back off because they're startled or intimidated, but they don't create lasting respect. They end up creating fear, resentment, or distance. And more importantly, harsh boundaries don't feel good to deliver. They leave you feeling drained, guilty, or like you've become someone that you don't even recognize. Soft boundaries, on the other hand, come from a completely different place. They come from self respect, not fear. When you have genuine self respect, you don't need to convince anyone that your boundaries are valid. You don't need to justify them or defend them. You simply state them with calm confidence. Soft boundaries are calm, consistent, and confident. They're delivered with the energy of someone who knows their worth and doesn't need external validation to prove it. The power in soft boundaries comes from your inner certainty, not your outer volume. Think about it this way: when someone is truly confident, they don't need to raise their voice to be heard. Their quiet certainty commands attention and respect. That's the energy of soft boundaries. Let me give you some examples so you can hear the difference. Harsh: stop calling me at the last minute. I'm sick of it. Soft: I'm not available for last minute calls anymore. I need at least 24 hours notice. Harsh: I'm done with you. You never listen. Soft: this dynamic doesn't work for me. I need some space to think. Harsh: you better start helping around here or else. Soft: I need more support with the household responsibilities. Can we talk about how to make that happen? Harsh: don't you dare talk to me like that. Soft: I don't accept being spoken to that way. I'm going to step away until we can have a respectful conversation. Do you hear the difference? The soft versions are just as clear, just as firm, but they're delivered without aggression or attack. The harsh versions put people on the defensive. The soft versions invite cooperation while still maintaining your standard. Now, I need to address this misconception. Some women think that being soft means silent, passive, or avoiding conversations altogether. That's not softness, that's avoidance. You can be gentle, warm, direct, and firm all at the same time. You can address issues without attacking the person. You can be clear about your needs without being cruel about their shortcomings. Soft boundaries are actually more direct than harsh ones because they focus on the behavior or situation, not on attacking the person's character. Instead of, you're so selfish, you say, I need more consideration in our plans. Instead of, you never listen to me, you say, I don't feel heard in our conversations. This approach is more likely to create the change you want because it doesn't put the other person in defensive mode. It invites them to work with you instead of against you. Here's something beautiful about soft boundaries: they attract emotionally healthy people and they repel emotionally unhealthy ones. People who love safety, who value emotional intelligence, who want healthy relationships, they respond beautifully to soft boundaries. They respect them, they appreciate the clarity, and they often reciprocate with their own healthy communication. People who are toxic, manipulative, or emotionally immature, they might try to push against soft boundaries because they're used to drama and chaos. But when you maintain your soft firmness, they usually move on to find someone who will engage with their dysfunction. This is exactly what you want. Soft boundaries are like a filter that helps you to attract the right people and naturally distance yourself from the wrong ones. Here's what I want you to understand: the energy behind your boundary matters just as much as the words you use. When you set a boundary from a place of love for yourself and respect for the other person, it lands differently than when you set it from anger, fear, or resentment. Soft boundaries say, I care about myself and I care about this relationship, so I'm being clear about what works for me. Harsh boundaries say, I'm angry and I'm going to make sure you know it. The first approach preserves the relationship while protecting your needs. The second approach might protect your needs, but often damages the relationship. So, how do you practice this? Start by checking your energy before you set a boundary. Are you coming from fear, anger, or frustration? If so, take a moment to center yourself first. Use that soft power pause we learned on day 7. Then focus on what you need rather than the other person and what they're doing wrong. Use I statements instead of you statements. Keep your voice calm and your body language open. And remember, you don't need to justify your boundaries. You just need to state them clearly and kindly. Boundary work is feminine work. It's about protecting your softness, preserving your energy, and creating space for healthy relationships to flourish. The most feminine women I know have the strongest boundaries. They're just delivered with grace instead of aggression. Make sure you hit subscribe for day 10, where we're talking about stress is a perception and how to shift it. Tell me in the comments, have you been setting harsh boundaries or have you been in your soft boundaries era? What's one boundary you want to practice delivering more softly? Let me know because I read and respond to all comments. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Dr. Nicole.